This is Geometry Chapter 3, Section 3, in which we will be studying the slopes of lines. Most of this is going to be a review for you because you've done this several times before. The slope of a line containing 2 points, x1, y1, and x2, y2, just 2 points on the graph, is found by the formula y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Another way to think of this is rise over run. And mathematicians use the letter M to represent slope. I think it comes from either French or Italian or Latin. Not sure exactly where M became slope. It was before my time. So we're going to be asked to find some slopes. We need to find the slope of the line containing the point 6, negative 2, and the point negative 3, negative 5. Well, to do that, we need to plug into our formula. y2 is negative 5, minus y1 is negative 2, x2 is negative 3, minus x1, which is 6. I could reverse the order of this. I could go negative 2 minus negative 5, so long as I also go 6 minus negative 3. Make sure you go consistently within a problem. If you use the first point first for y, you have to use the first point first for x, and so forth. And make sure you put your y's on top and your x's on bottom. That's the most common mistake people make, is they put the x on top. So at any rate, negative 5 minus negative 2 is negative 3. Negative 3 minus 6 is negative 9. And then that fraction reduces to 1/3. So the slope is 1/3. So I'm going to ask you to pause your video, take a moment, calculate this slope just to make sure you are able to do so. Come back, check your answer. Hopefully this wasn't too tricky for you. You plugged in your x's and your y's in the formula in the appropriate spot. And you reduced out and you got negative 1/14. Okay. Now, there are a few special lines we need to know about. A vertical line has an undefined slope. If you tried to use the slope formula to find the slope of a vertical line, your two x numbers are the same, so you would have a 0 in the denominator. That's why it's undefined. You cannot divide by 0. Consider now a horizontal line. A horizontal line has a slope of 0. If you use the slope formula for that, you would find out that your numerator is 0 because the y's are the same. So you would get a 0 on top, and that's okay. 0 on top, the answer is 0. 0 on bottom, and the answer is undefined. A couple of other important ideas, and we're going to use these quite a bit here. You already know what parallel lines are. The new piece of information for this is if they're parallel, that means their slopes are equal. They have the same slopes. Okay. So if I'm looking at two parallel lines and I know the slope of one of them is 3/5, then I know the slope of the other one is 3/5 also. If two lines are perpendicular, then their slopes aren't the same. They are opposite reciprocals of each other. If I have a line whose slope is 3/5, then the perpendicular slope would be negative 5/3. You flip the fraction over, you flip the slope over, and then you change the sign. So they're going to ask us to decide whether some lines are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. Now we can do that. They want us to figure out for AB and for CD. So AB, we need to find its slope. So we'll plug into the slope formula. -5 minus 1 over -1 minus 1. -6 over 2, which is 3. Now we need to find the slope for CD. We plug into the slope formula there. 1 minus 2 over 6 minus 3. -1 over 3. Compare the two slopes. They're certainly not the same, so it's not parallel. 3 is the same as 3 over 1. 3 over 1 to 1 over 3 negative, that's opposite reciprocals. So we would respond that the lines are perpendicular. Had this been, say, a positive 1/3, then we would say they're neither. They wouldn't be parallel, they wouldn't be perpendicular. It would be neither nor. One last problem for you to pause and give a try. Decide whether AB and CD are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. Then come back and check your answer. Well, we need to find the slopes. So the slope of AB, hopefully you found to be 13/25. The slope for CD, we found to be 12. They're not the same, clearly, so they're not parallel. These are not reciprocals of each other in opposite signs, so they're not perpendicular. So we can clearly say they are neither in this case. Thought I had another page, but I don't. So hopefully, as always, if you had questions, you wrote those down to bring in, and we will see you in class.